All right, we have town meeting warrant articles that have not been voted on. One of them that we have is the road commissioner's article, so let's discuss that right now. Would you like to come? 5 minute seat, we'll let you join us.
Thanks. I don't know if I'll sit or stand.
You measure it out.
I don't know if I sit anywhere, I won't see it.
Probably better to stand. Or we've had a revision to the road commissioner's article, I think. Does everybody have one?
Is it the same as the one on the table up there?
What this is a red line copy.
Here we go. This one's red line, so this one shows the changes.
This one shows the changes.
Ellis?
So this one you don't have.
This one we don't.
Right. It's the same information, just so that you know.
In special format.
So when last we met, I'll try to bring you into this quickly. But when we last met, the road commission was talking about a single bylaw change that would incorporate two selectment policies. The first was the maintenance of private roads policy. The second was what's called the winter maintenance policy, and it dealt with, because the winter maintenance policy brought in there the inspection of roads and so forth. It brought those two together, and I think I called them complementary policies. Sometimes they were complementary, and in some sections they were conflicting, but nonetheless, the selectmen took a position a couple of weeks ago now where they eliminated the winter maintenance policy. By the elimination of the winter maintenance policy, it made our job significantly easier, because now we didn't have to worry about roads that had to meet a certain standard. So as a result, what we could do is take the existing bylaw, the way the bylaw is written today, and make some changes to it. Now, what you've got, what you've had previously is the completed copy of those changes. What I just handed out to you is actually a copy of what's going up on the screen today. And what that is, it's a red line document. The base for the red line document is the old policy, and anything that's changed is an addition. Okay, so an addition or subtraction. You'll see in here that there are basically 3 changes to the policy. There's a lot of wordsmithing going on, but basically there's 3 changes. The last line of the first paragraph, we're adding routine grading will be performed as determined by the municipal maintenance director. That's new, and that's one of the changes. In about the middle of the second paragraph, you see the 50% of the abutters on linear footage. That's crossed out, and it's inserted 51% or more of the abutters. So it's no longer a linear footage requirement. It's now essentially a dwelling requirement. So it's based on the number of dwellings.
Dwellings or lots?
Dwellings or lots, yeah. The third change is in the third paragraph, where it says labor and equipment shall be provided by the town. That's the third change. Okay. What the bylaw is saying is the town's going to provide the labor, the town's going to provide the equipment. If there is a need for materials, and you'll see this in wordsmithing, but if there's a need for materials, those materials will be paid for ahead of time. So there would have to be an estimate of the amount of materials necessary. Materials would be a collection, I guess. I don't know how we work it, but taken up so that the director of municipal maintenance has the cash in his hand, and then they'll provide for the materials, labor, and equipment. Materials, the usage of materials is not common. It's more the exception rather than the rule. Basically, when they do this work, they're taking it from the edges and putting it back in the middle, as opposed to bringing some new material in. But there are some cases where the material is required. So that's it. The rest of it, we insert the word temporary in a lot of cases. We correct some of the verbiage that was in there. It didn't make sense. let me see, we talk about reconstruction of private ways, that would be minor abandonment kind of thing. Which primarily is the way the bylaws are written today. It's not really an addition to it. Just clean it up a little bit. And not take any questions. The issue of opportunity cost, yeah, that's still there. That was there in the old one. That'll be there in the new one. Because it's the discretion of the director of municipal maintenance as to how all of this works into the schedule. He's seen this. He's been part of this. He wrote this. Feel free to ask me questions on it.
It becomes a political issue, though.
Political in voting for it? Or?
Well, if I was a selectman and I was in an area where there was, I needed to go to an area where there's a lot of density, I would talk to the town administrator, I'd talk to the municipal maintenance manager, and the yellow truck would go down the road.
Of course, life is political.
Yeah.
It really is.
The other question is that there are some roads out there that are, the abutter, the major abutter is a not-for-profit, like Audubon, for instance.
Okay.
So they're exempt from being included in any voting or anything.
Well, they're not.
Would they be part of the 49 that wouldn't have 49% that wouldn't have to vote for it?
I wouldn't include them in the total of abutters. I mean,
that would be an exception. That's not addressed. Nothing like that's addressed in the bylaw.
yeah. But you do have some situations.
And that would have to be administratively addressed. If they were part of the 49%, you know, that would be great because it works itself out. If it's part of the 51%, then that could be somewhat problematic. But that's an administrative issue, not a bylaw issue.
I have a question. I don't see anything in here about snow removal, so that isn't brought up at all. It's staying the way it is. You don't have to go in there and sign up and say, I want to be plowed. And
when the selectmen removed that policy, that was it. That just took that off the table. So you won't see anything about that in here. Yes.
Selectmen vote on it yet?
Not to my knowledge, let's put it that way.
They've not been voted on by the selectmen.
They did not vote on it the night we presented it. We the road commission, voted on it at our meeting that
I
started at 4
understand that, I
o'clock.
just wanted to know if they had voted, what we voted.
They may have voted.
You're gonna vote tonight, right now?
Yeah.
Talk to Peter. We should know that answer.
They're bringing it up there.
Okay. That's all I wanted, that's why I went for it.
You have a spelling error a couple of times. It's perform, not freeform. It's perform, not freeform.
Is that in the red? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
There are 2 or 3 of those.
Yeah. Spell check doesn't pick that up.
All right, so basically, this is at the discretion of municipal maintenance. So if they have the time, the inclination, they can do it. All right, if they don't, the concern we don't want to have is Bernie coming and saying, you didn't do my road last year. Why not? You did his. So, but it's left to the discretion of
But this is not, it's not requiring anybody to do it. It's giving you the power.
that he can do it.
They can.
And there's no, and again, there's no liability.
There's no liability.
Exactly.
Exactly. That's the priority we did that anyway else.
All right. Anyone else have any?
So the initial request for the revolving fund is no longer in
That's
place?
going to be cool.
That's cool. That's not here.
So the process, I walk around to all my neighbors and get them to sign a petition. How do I get there?
I would call it Department of Municipal Maintenance.
Well, it says 51% of the butters, so.
That's for the money piece. If you want to pay the money,
Yeah.
then you need 51% of your bucks.
So I assume 1 or 2 on the street will pay for it. Because
It might be, except on our street, we've got 4, we've been doing it fine for the past couple of years, and everybody's kicked in. You know, it's,
I live on a good street.
if you do it right, it becomes an embarrassment, and they don't want to be there when you kick in.
It doesn't sound like it's going to be that high.
They're not going to be that high, and they're going to be the exception. So,
Somebody counting fire, something more than that yet.
no, there is no cash in there.
And then keep cycling.
Bring in the cash and get it done.
Kick a can around to your neighbors. And,
Right.
I mean, I have similar neighbors, so it's not really going to work out, but. Do you guys consider anything else? It just seems like there's Chapter 90 money from the state if we accept more roads.
Except more
And
roads.
I'd be willing to pay a betterment, although my street will never be 40 feet wide. To get it, paid to a certain point and never be fixed above that. And then the Chapter 90 money comes in and it pays for some of the roads that need to be fixed already.
There is-
In 50 years, maybe 60, it might not travel that much.
Yeah.
Mine would be fixed again, but it wouldn't be that much.
There is already a policy in place to apply to have your road accepted.
I know, but the standards are so high that, you know, unless you live in a brand new development, there's just no way.
That's a selectman issue. That's not a person in the bylaw. The selectman actually is not a vote and has not accepted roads.
Right,
But the
right.
policy is the selectman have to.
It just seems that if we had a system where there were betterments and 7% say they wanted to pay, it costs $5,000 a house over 10 years, nobody gets hurt, there's an interest in paying those financing. But then we'd be getting money from the state. It sounds like nearly half the roads are private or unpaved here.
More than half. Well, not unpaid,
But private.
but, yeah, but private. More than half the roads are private.
How many, what percentage of residents live on those roads?
A lot of some. And that's the problem. That's one of the reasons that in our original presentation, we had the threshold so low, is because there was one gentleman in one of our sessions, because all those names of some of people.
That's kind of my, I'm not the only one, but, you know, there's 30% of us year round.
Yeah, I'm one of 4. 24.
Oh, that was
Year
it.
round. I feel your pain.
Yeah. I mean, it's nice and quiet, other than Memorial Day, later, 4th of July.
But between Memorial Day and Labor Day,
There's nothing going on.
All right, Selectmen just voted Article 20, they voted to approve it 4-0.
I don't see anything objectionable here.
I would like a
Motion to approve.
another question.
Is essentially the only difference is that the butters, or the butters are now paying for material. Is that the difference between what happens?
pretty much, yeah. No, not between
No.
what happens today, I'm sorry, what used to happen. What
Well,
happened
now you pay for the labor,
now, you're paying for labor and equipment and materials.
not equipment.
2 years ago, well, you're paying a labor cost, presumably that includes all overhead, but that be that as it may. 2 years ago, beyond 2 years ago, the town would pay for everything. Labor and materials. That ended 2 years ago, and now the butters pay for everything. What this does is it kind of blends that, and it says, okay, the town's going to still pay for labor and equipment, and the butters will pay for materials if and when they use it.
And the municipal maintenance can insist on some material. If somebody says, well, just come in and grade it, don't change the material, he can say, I'm not going to do it unless you do this.
It's his discretion. He has complete discretion.
South Plymouth has a huge amount of dirt roads. What are they doing?
I don't know.
Plymouth, 15 years ago, had a decree that they were they identified major connector roads that went from one side of the town to the other, east-west or north-south, and they said that those were their priorities, that the dirt roads and the other unaccepted roads would not be addressed, and that's the way they went.
So I'm reading this, that there's a labor charge or there's not? So there's no labor equipment charge.
Paragraph,
Labor and equipment shall be provided by the town. It says the abutters will pay for the cost of the materials if necessary. That was Tom's question.
Yeah.
provided by the
Yeah, I
town,
mean,
and no
there's no,
charge.
the first edition, it was the other way around.
The first edition, it was,
They paid for the labor.
first edition.
Yeah, I mean, you've been running it, you're a lot closer to it than I am.
If
but
it was, it wasn't in.
I know currently,
Currently, it's,
Currently, you're paying for the whole thing.
no material.
well,
We
If you
never,
don't
yeah,
use
if
it.
you had.
You have
If you had
materials,
materials, you pay
Yeah,
for
I got it.
it. When
You're
we
right.
did our roads in the past 2 years, we had materials in the first year, we didn't have materials in the second. So, we paid private, we paid.
all right, we have a motion to accept this. Do I have a second? All right, all those in favor? Anyone opposed? Anyone abstaining? Unanimous. So we have 700.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mike, you and I think somewhat alike.
Article 19. We voted no action, we'll leave that as no action.
I assume it will be withdrawn.
All right. Why don't we get plowed?
I get to, I went through getting all those signatures last.
Go ahead. Okay, are there any votes that we would like to reconsider on any articles? Going around? Nobody? All right. Let's see. Yep, that's the school department and the administration. Reached an agreement on the budget. Although what part of the cuts were controversial cuts, such as school busing, which is liable to be an item that some parents may raise at town meeting.
Winter, snowy day, kids are walking to school.
Right.
Sidewalks, some of our sidewalks, they're going to be walking, it's a possibility.
But you have to understand that this gives them something they can talk to their grandkids about. I walked to school 2 miles uphill in a storm.
Keep them off the west spiral notebook.
I guess the thumb to school.
We got a copy to these.
Yes.
What if that was actually available for in the
The
budget?
kids. I'd have been screaming about it.
That has been taken care of in the budget. The,
Are we gonna spend 40 grand for
No, I think a mile is 2 miles?
a Prius?
For them to walk 2 miles? Come on.
They had to come home for lunch.
Oh, I did too in New York. I did in New York.
you have to pay for it.
The hill through a cemetery and a crematorium down the street. And if you sat at the top of the hill, and that's, yes.
Probably a couple of grand to fix them.
I understood they were good for 10 years.
And that
We're all
was
get-
New
That's where
York.
we're all gonna end up.
When I was riding in the train, I sort of worked it out. It wasn't worth the 5 or 6 grand over on the city.
Okay, let's keep this on course here. All right, let's still in here. All right, we'll have Derek come back and talk to us about the administration handout of the budget. Let's see. Anything else for?
They hold a special before this book. The special is held first.
Special comes in at 7.
Say again?
It opens at 7.
Right, 23 pages.
Then we
Sorry.
start special, then we go back to
Right. The sergeants are, it's a new contract with the sergeants. They were,
your reading, right?
they broke off as a separate group.
You gotta stop at the first,
Yes.
but they go by numbers.
I didn't know. Very slow.
No. Whatever time they have until 7:30. And then 7:30, they will switch on.
Why don't we go for a recess until Derek gets back here? That way you can turn off your recorder. We'll recess for a few minutes.